For some, Halloween is a pumpkin on the front porch. For James Broden, it's a yard full of animal skulls.
People find and they just bring them to me. Here, James.
For the last 6 years, the Twin Cities resident has transformed his yard into a holiday wonderland, complete with killer motorcycle clowns and rubber rats devouring a deer carcass. He compares his annual endeavor to meditation, with a couple dozen skeletons thrown in for good measure.
I'm actually in a real quiet place, focused just on what I'm doing, and everything else outside doesn't really matter. It's like walking through the woods and there's nothing there but the woods and you. It's just peacefulness.
It was actually Pearl Danaher, James's girlfriend, who inspired this open-air haunted house. She used to line her lawn with homemade tombstones, each one dedicated to a dead musician.
When I moved over here, I put them out in the yard, and it set him. His imagination went wild. And he took it away from me. I had my ideas about it, and then the next thing you know, it's his whole show. I went. He takes a week off of work that week of Halloween just to perfect everything.
And James doesn't merely adorn his own yard. For years, he's been decorating the neighboring 3 as well. Meryl McGovern moved into the house next door just a few weeks ago. Her welcome wagon was a group of vultures.
What an initiation. I work from home, so I'll watch out the window and I'll see people pull up and they just peek out their window and then I'll watch little girls go by and some will peek like this and their dad will hold their hand or their watch, but I actually can't really look at it from that side. I can only look at it from this side because I'm actually kind of scared myself. So
A series of scenes stretches out along this residential strip in South Minneapolis, from a makeshift mortuary to an afternoon bike ride.
I like to have a family feel to it. But I used to dress them up in tie-dye shirts and shorts, and I thought it looked great. My girlfriend decided she doesn't like the t-shirts on them and the tie-dye and stuff, so we took them off and made them just skeletons now.
You might assume that as a kid, James hit the trick-or-treat hotspots in zombie face paint and plastic vampire teeth. But that's not quite how things played out.
I was Tiny Tim for so many years, I can't even tell you. I used to have to wear this little piece that my mom had put on to make her hair look longer, I had the little clip on it and put that on my head so I looked like I had long hair. Give me a ukulele and then I'd have to go door to door singing Tiptoe Through the Tulips. My mom and dad chose it over and over and over again.
Eventually, his days of impersonating the famous falsetto came to an end, and it's been serpents and spiderwebs ever since. As James constructs a rat cave, passers-by take in his artistic vision.
How long did it take you to do this? Look at they're moving.
Oh, gee.
It just looks amazing. We got the skeleton coming out of the ground and a corpse and coffin over there.
And the rat!
Yeah, that's just gross. Even though I have a pet rat, but that's gross.
I'm not a people person, but I like to watch expressions on people's faces. I like to watch how much they enjoy it, if they enjoy it or if they don't enjoy it. It's like give them something to talk about.
With Halloween one day away, James continues to perfect this season's showcase, even in the dark, in the rain.
The weather adds a different feel to it, if it's wet and moist out, you can see it on everything. Everything's kind of dripping wet and crystally and kind of looking spooky, I guess. At night, it's like another creature. It has a life of its own. During the day, when you look at it, it looks like it's alive. It's so busy, so much. But at nighttime, it's like everything's slowed down on it. It's like, in its own way, it has its own solitude. Sometimes you gotta get your nightmares out of your head. Put them out on the street where everybody can see them.
As it turns out, his nightmares are a big draw. James and Pearl used to see an average of 20 trick-or-treaters. Last year, about 500 children and parents visited this increasingly popular Minneapolis haunt.
Some people aren't allowed to be themselves most of the year, you know, so not all people are happy people. Not everybody loves life, you know. And sometimes you got to go to that dark side so that you can see the positive parts of life as other people see it.